Let me start with something bold. Walking by itself is not the belly fat burner most people think it is once you reach your 60s, 70s, or 80s. For decades, we've all been told that it is the magic solution for weight control. And that's exactly why in this video, I'm going to show you the one simple move that melts belly fat faster than walking. And it works in about 30 days. My name is Dr. Chen, and welcome to Wellness Strong, where we can be healthy together. If you have been walking every day, doing your 30 minutes, maybe even more than that, yet your waistline keeps getting bigger, it is not your fault. Your body has simply changed. And today, I'm going to show you a simple move that melts belly fat faster than walking. And most people over 60 have never even heard of it. Now, before you worry, this move is not extreme. You will not be jumping, twisting, or lying on the floor. In fact, most of my older patients can do it safely in their living room. But before I teach it to you, I want you to understand why it works, because when you understand what your body is doing, everything becomes easier and you stay motivated. So let's begin with what I call the belly fat wake-up call. And I say this with love and respect. After 60, your body stops using the muscles that used to keep your waist tight. You still have those muscles, every single one of them, but they have gone a little quiet, a little sleepy. Imagine a house with a security system. When you were young, every sensor was active. Your core muscles, especially the deep ones, kept your belly pulled inward and helped burn calories all day long. But as time goes on, some of those sensors shut off. The alarms stop ringing. The system is still there, but it is not doing anything. This is exactly what happens to your deep abdominal muscles. These are not the outer six-pack muscles. These are the inner muscles that act like a natural corset, wrapping around your middle and helping you burn calories even when you are resting. When those muscles stop activating, the body shifts its fat storage pattern. Instead of burning fat around your waist, it begins storing it there. That is why so many seniors tell me the same thing. Doctor, my arms are fine, my legs are okay, but the belly, it will not budge. The important thing to remember is that this is not a failure. It is simply biology. And the good news is that these muscles can be switched back on. They are like lights in a room you have not walked into for years. Flip the switch, and the whole place brightens up again. And once those muscles wake up, the move I'm going to teach you can shrink your waistline in 30 days. Now let's talk about something that most people never hear from their doctor. Walking is wonderful for your heart, your joints, your mood, and your overall health. I encourage it every single day to my own patients. But when it comes to shrinking belly fat after 60, walking loses a lot of its power. And it is not because you are doing anything wrong. It is because your body changes with age in ways nobody ever explains. Here is the simple truth. After 60, your body starts burning fewer calories from your belly and more calories from your legs when you walk. That means your legs get some benefit, but your waist barely notices, so you end up doing more walking and getting less belly change. Many seniors tell me, Doctor, I walk an hour a day and nothing happens. And I always answer, it's not you, it's biology. Let me explain this in a simple way. When you were younger, your core muscles were active all day long. They worked without you thinking about them, but as the years pass, those deep core muscles stop firing the way they used to. And when they turn off, your body leans more on your hips and legs for movement, so when you walk, the belly isn't pulling its weight anymore. It's not participating. It's like a worker who quietly stepped out of the job but still gets paid. Another hidden reason walking doesn't target belly fat is something called movement efficiency. The more you do the same motion, the easier it becomes. Your body uses fewer calories to do the same walk you've been doing for 20 or 30 years. Your body is basically saying, I've mastered this, I don't need as much energy anymore. This is why so many older adults hit a wall. They walk more, they try harder, but the belly stays the same. The good news is that this is completely fixable. You don't need to walk longer or faster. You don't need to strain more or sweat more. You just need to wake up the muscles that walking no longer reaches. Alright, now we finally get to the part you've been waiting for. What is this one simple move that melts belly fat faster than walking, especially for people over 60? I want you to hear me clearly. It's not a crunch. It's not a plank. You don't need to get on the floor. You don't need equipment. You don't even need to change your clothes. The move is called the standing deep core hold. Some physical therapists call it standing transverse abdominis activation, but I don't use that name because it sounds like a tongue twister. So for today, we'll just call it the belly tightening switch. Because that is exactly what it does. It switches your deep belly muscles back on, and those are the muscles that burn fat around your waist. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible. You have a layer of muscle deep inside your abdomen called the transverse abdominis. It works like your body's natural corset. When it is active, your belly stays tighter, your posture improves, and your metabolism goes up. But after 60, this muscle practically goes to sleep. Walking doesn't wake it up. Most exercises don't wake it up. And when it shuts down, belly fat becomes very stubborn. This one move turns it back on. Here's how you do it. Stand tall with your feet about shoulder width apart. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands rest gently on your lower belly. Now imagine you are slowly zipping up a snug pair of pants. Gently draw your lower belly inward. Not sucking in hard, not holding your breath, just a soft, controlled tightening. You should feel your lower belly firming under your hands. Hold this gentle tension while breathing normally. 5 seconds, then relax. Repeat. That's it. This tiny movement is powerful because it targets a muscle walking can't reach. When this deep core wakes up again, your body burns more calories even while sitting, standing, and sleeping. That's why so many seniors see their waistline change in about 30 days. They're not burning more energy because they're exercising harder. They're burning more because the right muscle finally turned back on. I've had patients in their 70s tell me, "Doctor, I feel my belly working again for the first time in 20 years." And that's exactly what I want for you. Now that you know the move, I'll explain now why it works so much better than walking and why it engages muscles your daily steps simply cannot reach. I want you to picture your body like a team of workers. When you walk, your legs, hips, and glutes are doing almost all the work. They're the employees on the front lines. They're strong, reliable, and used to being called on for every job. But your deep core muscles? Those are like the quiet workers in the back office. They're essential, but after 60, they rarely get called on anymore. Walking doesn't require them. Jogging doesn't require them. Even most gym machines barely wake them up, so after years of not being used, they simply shut down. This is why belly fat becomes stubborn. You can walk for miles, but the belly doesn't feel anything. The standing deep core hold changes this completely. It goes straight to the deep abdominal layer responsible for pulling your waist inward. This muscle sits underneath everything else. It is deeper than the six-pack muscles and deeper than the obliques on your sides. Think of it like the foundation of a house. If the foundation isn't active, the house doesn't stand tall and the belly doesn't tighten. Walking cannot reach this deep layer because walking is a repetitive forward-moving pattern. Your body becomes efficient at it, which means it burns fewer calories the more you do it. But the standing deep core hold forces your body to stabilize from the inside. You are teaching your spine, pelvis, and abdomen to work together again the way they did when you were younger. And here's something my older patients love hearing. When this deep muscle turns back on, the body starts burning more calories throughout the day, not just during the exercise. That means while you're cooking, reading, watching television, or even sleeping, the body is using more energy. You don't need long workouts. You don't need complicated routines. You just need to reactivate the muscles walking forgot. Once these muscles wake up, everything becomes easier. Your posture improves, your lower back feels lighter, and your belly finally begins to respond. Now I'll show you how activating this muscle turns on your 24-hour fat-burning switch. Let's talk about something that surprises almost everyone over 60. Your body has what I call a fat-burning switch. When this switch is on, you burn more calories all day long, even while resting. When it is off, your metabolism slows down, your belly stores more fat, and your energy drops. The part most people never hear is that this switch is controlled by your deep core muscles, not your legs or arms. Remember that muscle we talked about earlier, the transverse abdominis? That deep belly muscle is more than just a support system. It is a metabolic engine. When it activates, it tightens your waistline and increases the number of calories your body uses every minute of the day. When it relaxes too much, everything slows down. The standing deep core hold turns that switch back on. Let me explain this in a simple way. Think of your metabolism like a stove. When you were younger, the stove had 4 burners all turned on. Your body burned energy easily. Belly fat came off quickly. But as you entered your 60s, 70s, or 80s, one burner after another slowly dimmed, nothing dramatic. Just a small drop each year, and suddenly, without doing anything wrong, the stove is barely warm. Now here's the good news. Activating your deep core is like turning a burner back up. Even a small improvement makes a big difference. Many of my older patients tell me this is the first time they've felt something happening in their belly in years. And when that deep muscle wakes up, your posture improves, your breathing gets deeper, and your body naturally uses more energy. You don't have to sweat, you don't need to move fast, you simply have to activate the right muscle. This is why studies show that deep core training can improve metabolism more effectively in older adults than walking alone. Walking is wonderful, but it doesn't turn the switch on. This move does. And once that internal engine starts working again, your belly finally becomes willing to shrink. Now that your fat-burning switch is on, let's move on where I'll show you how slow, controlled power melts belly fat safely and effectively. Now that your deep core is waking up, let's talk about something most people never expect. The fastest way to shrink your waist after 60 is not through speed or intensity, it's through slow, controlled power. That means gentle, steady activation of the right muscles, held just long enough to create real change. Let me explain why this is so effective, and when you move quickly, your body relies on big outer muscles, your thighs, hips, and lower back. These muscles are strong, but they are not the ones that tighten your waist. When you move slowly and with control, your body is forced to use the smaller, deeper muscles that tighten the belly and support your spine. Those muscles don't respond to fast movement. They respond to calm, steady engagement. Think of it like lifting a heavy box. If you jerk it quickly, you'll use your arms and shoulders. But if you lift it slowly, your core automatically braces to protect you. That bracing is exactly the activation we want, and the standing deep core hold recreates this effect without lifting anything at all. Here's the part seniors love hearing. Slow, controlled activation is safer. It reduces strain on your joints. It protects your lower back, and it teaches your body to use the deep core the way it did when you were younger. This is why older adults often see faster belly changes with steady holds than with aggressive workouts. When you perform the standing deep core hold, you're not just tightening your belly for a moment, you're retraining your entire midsection to stay engaged throughout the day. This is where the magic happens. Over time, your body learns to keep a gentle belly activation automatically. That means you're burning more energy during daily activities, cleaning the kitchen, walking to the mailbox, getting up from a chair, even standing in line at the grocery store. Slow activation also reduces cortisol, your body's stress hormone. High cortisol leads to belly fat storage, especially after 60. Slow controlled movement calms the body and tells it, we are safe. We can let go of stored fat, so don't rush. Don't force it. The secret is in the gentle, steady activation. Now that you understand why this deep core move is so powerful, let's put everything together into a simple routine you can follow every single day. This is the exact 5-minute routine I teach my older patients, men and women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s, who want a smaller waist, better posture, and a stronger core without pain or strain. It's gentle, it's safe, and you can do it without getting on the floor, changing your clothes, or rearranging your living room. The purpose of this routine isn't to make you sweat, it is to wake up the deep core muscles that burn belly fat around the clock. When those muscles turn on again, they work quietly in the background, tightening your waist and helping your whole body move better. Let's begin. First, we start with the foundation hold. This is the core of the whole routine, and the move that brings your deep belly muscles back to life. Stand tall with your feet shoulder width apart. Relax your shoulders so they're not creeping up toward your ears. Place one hand gently on your lower belly, right below the belly button. Now imagine you are slowly zipping up a snug pair of pants. Gently pull your lower belly inward. Do not hold your breath. Think of this as a calm, steady tightening, not a hard squeeze. Hold that tension for 5 seconds, then relax for 2 seconds. Repeat this 10 times. You should start to feel a little warmth in your belly by the time you reach the 6th or 7th repetition. That warmth is your deep core waking up. Next, we move to the standing side activation. This part strengthens the muscles along the sides of your waist, the ones that help pull your belly inward like a natural belt. Stay in the same standing position. Place your hands on the sides of your waist. Now imagine the area between your hip bones gently tightening toward the center, like you are drawing the two sides of your waist inward. Hold for 5 seconds. Breathe normally, then relax for 2 seconds. Repeat this 10 times. These side muscles help improve balance, stability, and support for your lower back. Now we move to the posture lift. This step teaches your body to keep your deep core gently active during daily movements. Stand tall, soften your knees, and slowly lift your chest as if someone placed a string on the top of your head and is gently pulling upward. As you rise that tiny bit taller, tighten your lower belly the same gentle way as before. Hold this combination, tall posture plus belly tension, for 10 seconds. Relax. Repeat 5 times. Many of my patients tell me this is the moment when they suddenly feel lighter, as if their spine is being supported from the inside. Finally, we finish with the core breath. This is where your breathing and your deep core learn to work together again. Place both hands on your belly. Inhale gently through your nose, letting your ribcage expand slightly. As you exhale, tighten your lower belly very softly for 3 seconds, then relax. Repeat this 10 times. This part reduces stress, calms the nervous system, and helps fight cortisol, the hormone that encourages belly fat, especially as we age. And that's the full routine. 5 minutes, no sweat, no getting on the floor, no equipment, just steady, gentle activation. Here's the beautiful part. After about 2 to 4 weeks, many of my older patients notice real changes. Their belly feels flatter and firmer. Their lower back feels supported. Standing and walking feel easier. And perhaps most importantly, they finally feel like their core is working again, sometimes for the first time in decades. Do this routine every day or even just 5 days a week, and your body will thank you. Consistency is where the magic happens. Your deep core doesn't need intensity, it just needs attention. And when you give it that, your belly responds, your posture responds, your metabolism responds, and you begin to feel strong from the inside out. Have a healthy body, and I'll see you in the next video.